Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Lounging with Lisa, the video series that has me lounging while coming at you with thoughts of the day. I'm totally filthy. I will be taking a shower. And I'm still not in my pearls, but that situation will change today. For certain. At any rate, I just thought I'd check in. I've been working on the game, actually. I finished it last night. I will be going live today at 2:30. And I hope to see you there. I actually have 100 questions this time. I don't know what came over me. I was so fascinated by Michigan and interesting facts about it. I went a little crazy. So, really not a lot to report. I think at some point I should do a video. Maybe right now. I'm not sure if I have the energy. Explaining my closing. Because I think a couple of people have maybe misconstrued. I'm not sure. It's, maybe it just would be something to do when I say, what do I say? Coming at you, please join me, join others, drop your political identities. What I mean by that is, when you're stuck on one side or the other, like, say that you're an ardent liberal or something, then you would find it hard to accept any kind of information being put forth by a so-called conservative or, somebody on the other side or Republican. And that leads to being closed-minded. And so that's what I mean by that particular thing, is to drop your political identities. Don't identify as a Democrat, a Republican, a Libertarian, or whatever. That way it just leaves you free to be even-handed, I think, in terms of taking in information from various outlets that, might be deemed to be conservative or, whatever the case may be, or liberal or whatever side you're not on anymore. So that's what I mean by that particular part of it, is drop your political identities. That's what I mean. So that you can truly be a free thinker and not have to take up for something. Like, for example, I can openly criticize really whoever, like Bernie Sanders. Say that Bernie does, and I was a Bernie person back in the day. There's some things that Bernie has done that he needs definite criticism for doing them. And since I don't feel I need to be on a team, be on a side, root for a person, have a hero, have a guru, I can take him to task on those issues and be honest with myself in the process. So that is the part of drop your political identities. That's what that means. And then let's focus on issues. I think that if it's an issue-driven conversation, then you can really accomplish more than just beating up the other side, so to speak. If you talk about issues, you can... What kind of issue? Let's say the education system, like free college for all or something like that. You can really get into the nitty-gritty, what other countries do. What kind of education are we talking about? Would this be universities that would offer a different alternative research in terms of history? Stuff like that. That's what I mean by focusing on issues. I think when you're issue-oriented, it's a little more pinpointed in terms of your activism. So that's what that part means. So let's see. What is it? Drop your political identities. Let's focus on issues. Leave labels at the door kind of goes hand in hand with the dropping of the political identities, because so many times I've been in a chat room when, I don't know, something is said by the presenter and the comments reflect real partisanship, like, oh, that must have come from a libtard or a Rethuglican or something like that, or that's just a communist statement or whatever. When labels, they don't even mean anything these days, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody really looks into the true definition of socialism, the true definition of a liberal, a conservative, all that stuff. So it's meaningless, and it just keeps people divided, which all of this keeps people divided. That's why I encourage these things at the end of the videos, to let go of this stuff. Let's see, we'll leave labels at the door. Research before you judge. This also, goes along with the rest of it in a way, in that so many times people have just automatically clutched pearls or freaked out whenever you might mention something that's outside of the paradigm into which we've been kind of, brainwashed would be a good word, into which we've been brainwashed. I'm just going to use that word, ladies and gentlemen. And if you say something outside of that box, outside of that particular paradigm, outside of the establishment talking point on that, then you're just I don't know, automatically taken to task for it. And I think that rather than clutching pearls and judging people, maybe look up what they're talking about. I don't mean just research isn't just looking at one video or reading one article. It's really digging down deep into things from various people that you might not have otherwise ever looked into, I guess. Leave resources, leave labels at the door, research for you judge. And remember, war is a racket. Well, of course, that's kind of self-explanatory. So, yeah, I guess I ended up explaining my closing, because I've had a couple of people that I think maybe misconstrued it a little bit. They thought that, I don't know, that I didn't want to discuss politics ever or something like that. And that's not true. But I want to come at it from a position of honesty and an open mind. And I think once you let go of these things, you let go of these chains, I guess, that have been binding you for years, it's a lot easier to be a true free thinker and a true researcher. So that's the deal. I'm going to go. I have to go do some more housework and get a shower. You know, that little depression spell that I had really put me behind with a lot of things. So I'm getting caught up. I hope to see you at 2:30. I'm really looking forward to it. Lounging with Lisa, the video series, and has me lounging while coming at you with thoughts of the day. Please join me, join others. Drop your political identities. Let's focus on issues. Leave labels at the door. Research before you judge. And remember that war is indeed a racket. Don't take my word for it. Just check out General Smedley Butler. I think by now people know, if they listen to the talking points going on around the establishment media and stuff, that I mean, a lot of this stuff is just crazy behavior to draw us into things to enrich the banksters and the military industrial complex. So there you have it. Thank you for listening. I hope I was clear. I'm going to play this back and see if it's even worthy of putting up. Bye bye now. Love you.